Hello there, this is Tony Mercier again. I'm out in the forest and we've looked around and found a scene that we quite like the look of, with the fir tree and the stream coming through the middle. There's some irises up there, just the yellow flags, which are quite nice. And we've got the subject of the tree trunks that have been blown over in the wind and branches across the stream. Now I'm going to get a sky colour that's, we've got quite a nice colour up there, and the clouds are quite nice as well. So there's a whole thing going on. It's like a bit of that violet up the top left. And I need to cover this, all of the sky. I'm looking at the tree trunks in front, and I just need to get some sort of record of them to start with, to think where I'm actually going to put those. And the one that's an upturned set of roots there with the ferns in front. And I'm rolling the brush again, which is something that I do most of the time. You can cover quite an area quite quickly, especially out on these expeditions. You actually need to get it on there quite quick because the light's changing all the time. And I'm using a bristle brush that will take a fair bit of aggression to scrub the whole thing in. So now you can see where I put the water in. I wouldn't paint it quite as it is at this stage, but in the sort of building of the composition, I need all that just as markers. There's quite a strong that's coming in from the edge there. There we go, up through there. And there's a smaller, it's probably up at about that sort of height, the ones through the distance. Now I've left a slight line around the edge there just to separate it, again just to build the distance. I've just picked up a mixture of colour there, just to fill in, because that is quite dark under there. These are just random strokes up and down, knowing that the tree trunks go up and down over the back there, so some of them I can pick out, and it's just an impression of it, a loose impression of it to start with. Again, emptying the brush. The more paint I put on there, the easier it will become, and a lot of it will just take care of itself anyway. We're building the shape of the picture here and the lead back into there, so now I need to come back down through this way to pull that together as well. And where I was wiping the brush out, you can see you can see through, and you can see different colours on there. There's quite a dark fur there, and it's all at the base. It's almost like a rocket the way it goes up. So you need to just not look at it and not be too critical of the way you paint it. And again, get that sort of very lightweight impression. Now I'm going to put those branches in over the back. And they don't want to look like telegraph poles laid down, because they sort of wind and twist a bit. And now I can look at it and think, right, I've actually got the whole thing sort of shaped up. And because I've put the ferns in here, there's the bramble bushes over here, so that's the edge of that. And then I'll step back up the bank and across to the sort of base of the tree. I'm just going to sneak that over a little bit more to the left, just beyond the logs, and if I end up cutting a little bit off of the right hand side, that might be what happens. And this rolling technique is, if you can master it, is quite good, because it covers a big area quickly and it's random. And because there was a stray brush mark there, so I can take the branch out to that, so that should work out about right. I'm just dragging that down, hardly any paint on there, just to smudge down into the edge of the water. And then there's a base underneath those irises. Walking back with the brush. Now I'm feeding the light back on. It's like the edge of that oak tree. little bit of foliage to feed some of these branches back in, and the trunks are going up through. I'll use the tip of this one just to empty the paint off of it. And then we've got these irises sort of popping up over there. They actually run all the way back, so I can, again, just with the tip of the brush, and they're on both sides, so that's quite a nice little feature. I need to wet the sky. I'll go all the way over with that. And then I can paint on top of that. We're going to see the sky underneath, so really it's quite a thin coating of paint to actually clean it up. See, that's about the same sort of weight of colour, but we do need it lighter as it gets down behind the trees, and it wants to be consistent. I'm just going to roll that in to get a random spread of colour. Bit of an overhang, bit of white just to get that to register as it goes back into the middle. Now we've got some quite shadowy bits in there, and that still looks a bit ghosty in there, and it does actually want stronger blocks and bulk of colour. I just brush that in there. So that takes it away from looking quite so cold with the greens. So there it is there. I'll just run back over that to dilute it again with the wet brush.